So today I want to talk about in some detail about disabled alters. And you're going to see my eyes down because I'm reading what I wrote out. It seems to be the easiest way to talk about something like this. Disabled alters are alters with disabilities like deafness, blindness. Sometimes they will not move or have the ability to use their legs or arms. This isn't the subject that can easily be found on any searches, and trust me, I've tried. So because of the lack of research on this particular subject, I'm going to talk about one of my own alters today that I have learned about over the past 8 years of my therapy. So today we're going to talk about alter 12. I do not have any awareness of 12 when she is out, and her age is a 12-year-old child. In therapy over the years, I am told she was an alter that come out first in the beginning of therapy. And she seems to not move or is able to see due to her need and will to keep her eyes shut. Over the years, I have found that she will show me some imagery of my past abuse in tiny bits and pieces when I am able to handle watching those graphic images. Although she will talk clearly enough, she doesn't talk very loud and seems to be a pain holder of some sort. When I talk about her being a pain holder, my therapist states when any one of the alters has pain or is enduring excruciating trauma, 12 was the alter that would be forced to front. She seems to be stuck in a freeze response that my therapist to this day still struggles with. Through the years of EMDR, 12 has grown some and has learned to reach out her hand when in need of comfort or is fearful. She also has had the experience of doing EMDR. How might a disabled alter do EMDR, you ask? So, some EMDR light bars come with handheld vibrating tools that trigger the brain and eye movements to go to the left cortex and then to the right cortex of the brain. And these tools you just hold in your hand and it vibrates from the left to the right when a disabled alter is unable to see or move. This gives a bilateral stimulation. This helps resolve some freeze-like responses. My therapist has also found that EMDR can hook up to headphones to have music that also goes from the left to the right. The nice thing about that is music can also soothe other alters like littles or stressed out teen alters, giving them songs that can soothe them and that they can choose to their liking. But please make sure that the professional you are seeing has practiced and has had classes in the EMDR method and disassociation. Another method that can help disabled alters is EFT. What is EFT? EFT is Emotional Freedom Technique and is a tapping technique that can be used with disabling alters. It can be tapping on each knee, back and forth, like this. Or it can also be a method of tapping 5 points of the face. Here is that method, and I can show you, and you can also use it at home to help ground yourself. It can also be used by your spouse or friend. So basically, you can have somebody tap those legs back and forth, or the technique I'm talking about with the 5 pressure, the tapping points on your face is here. And if you notice, my eyes automatically trigger to blink, giving a grounding and a kind of I don't want to say a bad startle response, but enough to ground you from disassociating. The other spots are here, 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 which is one of the weirdest ones, and here. So those are the 5 tapping points, and you can repeat that process. You can even have somebody do it for you if need be. The idea is to ground you. Another thing that will take time is to bring awareness to that alter that they are in the here and now. Little things like saying it's okay to look and it's okay to move helps. Even your therapist can gently guide these alters with little steps like having an alter reach out for a toy or a stress relief ball. You can even use something they kept from their past that they found soothing. A blanket, something, littles, whichever. Stuff that they had brought with them later in life, which some alters do. I also want you to remember, though, your therapist will know when and how this method should take place and how long these techniques can work. Now, I will show you a small video clip of 12 in a therapy session. It will be muted, though, as I find the conversation is not necessary for this video. Keep in mind, 12 has advanced some, but it still has been a battle for her to look around. Over the years, my therapist has made great progress with 12. She now doesn't allow self-harm from other alters of what I am told, and is starting to look at little things like my therapist's shoes or the color of her shirt. Her voice has also advanced, and she speaks up a bit more than she used to. If you notice in this video back from 2006, you'll see that 12 seems to kind of gasp for air. Trigger warning, it's not a lot, but it's enough. You can see that there's a problem. This is because of being held by the neck or the mouth, being covered while the child sexual abuse occurred. So here's 12. So I hope you found that a little useful to see what a disabled alter looks like. And keep in mind that was a therapy session, and I do not ask that you use that video in any depiction or wrong way. Otherwise, I will lead to legal action. Now, another thing I want to bring up, disabled alters also show somatic symptoms. And to them, these symptoms are very real. What are somatic symptoms in DID? Somatic symptoms in DID are when an alter or host has a significant focus on physical symptoms, such as pain, weakness, or shortness of breath, to a level that results in major distress and/or problems functioning. The individual has excessive thoughts, feelings, and/or behaviors relating to physical symptoms that may not be there or were from a past traumatic memory. The idea behind healing these issues is to slowly help that alter process her trauma first, and then to start to understand the age of the body and that her memories are just memories. And I should say he, she, whichever. Once this is established and processed, the alter will start to show signs of advancing, and the disability will start to go away. This may take months, it may take years, depending on the abuse that needs to be processed and the need to earn trust with your mental health professional. So that's all I have on disabled alters, unfortunately. You're more than welcome to add your thoughts and techniques below. You're also welcome to use this video in your therapy process. And I hope your journey on dealing with such an alter, if you have a disabled alter, is healing and helpful. And maybe this video will help advance that a little better. Loves all. Bye.